What would it look like dropping Michael Jordan in today's NBA? What does it look like having Michael Jordan at his absolute best in the year 2026?
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. This is my show. This is my camera. I run it. Oh!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to Outside the Playbook. Could Michael Jordan play in today's game? We're going to break this down in a number of ways. The first way we're going to talk about it is his athletic ability. Comparing his athletic ability to today's players. They're bigger, they're faster, and stronger collectively than the players of previous eras. How does he stack up in that sense?
The average vertical leap in the NBA is 28 to 30 inches. If you're one of the elite athletes, you're looking at 35 plus. Due to the amount of myths surrounding MJ, it's difficult to find a 100% agreed upon number for his vertical jump. But across multiple articles and scientific breakdowns of height and footage, the lowest number I was able to find was 42 inches. The speed of the NBA today is a large sticking point in the "we're done with the 90s" argument. The NBA doesn't use 40-yard dash times like the NFL. Instead, they time a three-quarter court sprint by name, but in theory, it's actually a sprint of 75 feet end line to opposite free throw line. The average three-quarter court sprint time in the NBA for elite guards is around 3 seconds. Converting that number to a 40-yard dash time, that number comes to 4.3 to 4.5 seconds. The only known record of Jordan doing a 40-yard dash time comes from Roy Williams, Jordan's former assistant coach at the University of North Carolina.
His freshman year, the day before practice started, I always got everybody's height, the reaching height, the vertical jump, and then we went outside and we did the 40-yard dash. And I timed every one of them for 10 years. The same spot on the wall that they stood there to measure them. I had seen the jump against the wall, so it's always going to be a little lower than somebody's going to say they have an 88-inch vertical jump or all that crap because they're jumping against a wall, so it's not going to be quite as much. But Michael's vertical jump was really good, but he was 6'4.5". The next year on October 14th, I measured, same wall, same standard, he was 6'6". And 40-yard dash time, and I'm not going to remember it exactly right now, but his freshman year, he was really athletic and fast. He was like a 4.5, okay? And I'll never forget this. His sophomore year, ran the 40-yard. Me and Coach Guthridge and our trainer, Mark Carnes, we all three had hand stopwatches, so we're not professional timers by any means. But he crossed the line, and I looked, and I said, wow. I said, Coach Guthridge, what'd you get? And he looked at me, and then Mark Davis said, I got 4.39. And Coach Guthridge said, I got 4.38. And I said, I did too. And so I waited a couple of, I said, Michael, we missed your start. We made a mistake here. Come on, I need you to run it again. And he said, oh, too fast for you, huh? I'll never forget that. And he goes back to the line and runs it again. And all of us got below 4.4 as a sophomore. So he went from 6'4.5" to 6'6" and got faster.
The next thing we have to talk about is statistics. Now, everybody rushes to the 40 points, 45, 50-point conversations. And the actual conversation we need to have is, what is this game going to look like? His shot selection, his style of play. What is he going to try to get to? Because everybody's biggest argument is Mike didn't shoot threes. Not because he couldn't. You need to understand he didn't work on them because he didn't like them.
When we talk about what Jordan's stats would look like in today's NBA, we talk about whether or not Jordan could average 40 or more points. While I believe he could, those aren't the stats we are going to be focusing on. The biggest argument fans have against MJ in the year 2026 is his ability to shoot the three at a respectable clip. Fact of the matter is that he never focused on improving that part of his game because he simply didn't like it.
I don't want to excel at it because it takes away from all phases of my game. My game is a fake drive to the hole, penetrate, dish off, dunk, whatever. And when you have that mentality, as I found out in the first game, of making threes, you don't go to the hole as much. You go to the three-point line and you start sitting there waiting for someone to find you. And that's not my mentality. And I don't want to create that because it takes away from my other parts of my game.
Look at this image below from the years 2005 and 2025 in the NBA. As you can see in the image from 2005, there was more balance in shot attempts, with the mid-range game still being a large part of a scorer's arsenal. The 2025 image shows that the mid-range game is nearly non-existent. Aside from guys like KD and DeMar DeRozan, the mid-range game is on life support. Over the entirety of his career, Michael Jordan shot 93% of his shot attempts inside the three-point line. In his prime years before the first retirement, he shot less than 1.5 times behind the three-point line and around 8.8 free throws per game. This is a shot chart for SGA from the 24-25 regular season. Aside from the percentages, over the last 4 seasons including this year, SGA has eclipsed 30 points per game. In those 4 seasons, 80% of his shot attempts have come inside the three-point line. He has been taking 9.35 free throws per game. I believe MJ would have a similar shot selection to that of SGA. SGA is shooting nearly 4 threes per game. Just for the sake of keeping defenses honest, and also the flow of the game could result in Jordan shooting between 2 and 3 three-pointers per game. The question is not if MJ would average 40 points per game. We've seen him put up 37 a game. The amount of space he'd have to operate and the ability he has to finish around the basket at an efficient clip would allow him to get over 40 a game. The question would be if his efficiency would suffer at all. I would have him around 47% instead of the 48% that he shot that season. Because realistically, when your shot attempts increase, your shooting percentage may suffer. Jordan was already shooting a high clip of field goals, so the difference wouldn't be as drastic.
Finally, we need to talk about who Michael Jordan is in today's game.
Let's build a style of play for what it would be like if Mike played in 2026. He would have the shot selection of a SGA, the athleticism of Ant-Man, the mastery of fundamentals of a Kobe and Duncan, the motor of a Russell Westbrook, the defensive strengths and weaknesses of a Jimmy Butler. He'd also be one of the most clutch players in the NBA, and his off-ball movement would be similar to Steph, but definitely not on his level. A lot of Jordan's scoring came from off-ball movement once Pippen was capable of initiating the offense. When he was in isolation situations, more often than not, he was not using up more than 5 to 6 seconds per possession to make his move. With all of these components, we still have to understand that there's only one Michael Jordan. But what is a guarantee is that without a doubt, he'd still go down as an all-time great.
Obviously, this is a what-if scenario, so you're going to agree or disagree with many of the points mentioned in this video, but this is an educated conversation. I'm not throwing out myths and legends and guesses and just saying things just to trigger you. We're having an educated conversation. So jump in the comments, come up with facts, and disagree or agree with anything I said in this video so we can keep the convo rolling. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments, could Michael Jordan dominate in the year 2026 the way he did in the 90s? That's one more for the good guys.